Whenever you have traveled through the heart of Delhi, chances are you have stepped into the lifeline of the city, the Delhi Metro. But have you ever wondered who transformed this vision into reality? Who dared to dream of an India where metros became symbols of national pride, trains cut through mountains, and bridges rose from ruins in days? Behind these marvels lies the story of a man who defied age, odds, and mediocrity, E. Sridharan. Long before he became the Metro Man, Sridharan was a fierce football captain at college. The discipline of sports, early mornings, rigorous practice, teamwork shaped his ethos. Little did he know that these lessons would one day rebuild bridges and reshape cities. But how does a sportsman become the architect of India's infrastructure revolution? The answer lies in a crisis that would test his mettle. At 35, Sridharan faced his first impossible task, restoring the Pamban Bridge in Tamil Nadu, shattered by a cyclone. The railways gave him 6 months. He did it in 46 days. How? By innovating, using pre-stressed concrete, working round the clock, and leading from the front. This wasn't just engineering, it was audacity, and it was only the beginning. In the 1990s, India needed a railway through the treacherous Western Ghats, a 760-kilometer maze of rivers, valleys, and landslides. The challenge? Unprecedented. The budget? Tight. The timeline? Unforgiving. Enter Sridharan. With 500 crore rupees raised through India's first railway bonds and a team of 10,000, he turned impossible into iconic. But here's the twist. He retired before the project even began. Yet, the government requested him to return. Why? Because only he could bend the mountains to his will. 2,000 bridges, 92 tunnels, 56 stations. The Konkan Railway wasn't just infrastructure. It was a declaration. India could dream big. And Sridharan, he proved that integrity and ingenuity could outpace bureaucracy. In 1997, Delhi was choking. Traffic, pollution, chaos. The solution? A metro system. But skeptics laughed. Indians can't maintain such precision. Sridharan silenced them.
The infrastructure to support this technology. Then we decided for indigenization in a big way. It started a metro revolution.
He built phase 1 on time and under budget, a first in India's history. But his secret wasn't just engineering, it was culture. He banned delays, corruption, and excuses. When a contractor missed a deadline, Sridharan took over himself. Surprise? The Delhi Metro became a global benchmark. From Kochi's coastal tracks to Lucknow's bustling corridors, Sridharan's metros are democratic. He insisted fares stay affordable. A metro is for the people, not for profits. That's what he said. But behind this idealism lay steel-clad strategy, meticulous planning, Japanese punctuality, and of course, spiritual grounding. Yes, at 90 plus, he still starts his day with meditation, believing work is worship. Awards? He has them all. France's Legion of Honor, Japan's Rising Sun, that ask him and he'll shrug. My reward is a farmer riding the metro. His mantra? Performance is the best legacy. No political meddling, no shortcuts. Just relentless focus. Even today, states queue for his counsel, Jammu's snow-clad metro, Srinagar's light rail. But here's the suspense. At 90 plus, does he ever slow down? While others retire, he redefines. Morning walks at 5 a.m., meetings at 90. A Spartan lifestyle. No car, no splurges. Simplicity sharpens the mind, he says. His latest mission? Riding India's bullet train dream. Can he crack the final frontier? If history is proof, bet on him. So the next time you board a metro, cross a bridge, or marvel at a train snaking through mountains, you remember, these aren't just structures. They are testaments to a man who turned sweat into steel, vision into reality. And what makes a legend? Age, titles, or the courage to build futures while others count days? E. Sridharan chose the latter, and India rides on the tracks that he laid.